Hello, greetings to you, whatever the time in your place is. If you're seeing my face for the first time, my name is Jillian, and you are welcome to Contemporary Views. You're welcome to my life. Yes, I want to talk about something very serious today. Basically, I've never done a video like this, but I stumbled on a video that I watched, and then I got thinking. And as usual, when I think, I sure must bring it up for us to all think together, for us to rub minds together. Yeah. As you can see on the caption, the video is titled Comparing the Journey of Two Interracial Couples, that is KORRA Obidi and Justin Dean, and Jamie and Nikki. KORRA and Justin are in the US, Jamie and Nikki are in Australia. So that is what we are discussing today. I am going to use one of their videos that I stumbled on and compare, cross both relationships. Yes, because I even have a notebook today. I have written down so many things. Also, I am going to bring out some video extracts from the internet to support everything that I'll be saying today. I searched through the internet. I didn't see anybody compare these two couples, but I found lots of similarities in both relationships. So I decided to create this live. Usually, this is not the kind of content that I do, but I feel led to do this content because it both concerns African women who were in relationship with white men. Hello and welcome to my live. My name is Jillian and you are welcome to Contemporary Views. If you are just joining in for the first time, do well to subscribe and like the video. Where are you joining in from? Like the video. Like the video, guys. We have a lot to talk about today. I need you to like the video when you join. You share the live. You share the broadcast. If you get me looking from side to side here, I am on YouTube here and on Facebook here. So I may be reading comments from either Facebook or YouTube. AC, thank you for joining my live. AC, please do well to subscribe and like the video. I need you to share with your family and friends. So many people will be joining in the course of the video. If you know anything based on the topic we're talking about, feel free to comment on the comment section. AC, thank you for joining from Colorado. The topic I am talking about today is comparing the journey of two interracial couples. The first one is Jamie and Nikki. They are content creators based in Australia, and then KORRA Obidi and Justin Dean. Nitro, I'm not very much aware of what you're talking about. Do well to subscribe and like the video, okay? AC, I am from Africa, Cameroon. Do you know where that is? So if you are versed with the topic and you have a thing or two to say, I want you to comment right under the comment section. It is a broad topic. The video is going to be long. I won't rush the video because I really need for us to compare these two couples. I don't sound cool though. AC, maybe you should rephrase. I don't get what you're trying to say. Maybe it's a typo error. So based on the comparison that I want for us to do today, I haven't seen any on social media, but it looks like there is a lot of similarity between both relationships. Both couples were actually married at some point in time. M24 King, thank you so much for joining my live. You're welcome to my live. Do well to like the video, guys. I need you to like the video. The broadcast is going to be a beautiful one. Just like it. Thank you so much, King. Nitro, I don't follow. I don't have details of that. I just need you to subscribe and like the video. All right, so next time when I'm live, you get notifications when I'm live. If you know these couples, you can comment under the comment section. KORRA Obidi and Jamie and Nikki. Yes, Jamie and Nikki, they are in Australia. KORRA Obidi and Justin Dean are in the US. These couples are both interracial couples, and their marriages have eventually ended. King, I don't understand. Last night, I don't follow. Guys, I need you to like the video, all right? Also, my super thanks have been activated. I need you to click the super thanks and bless me. So let's go right into the video. Actually, why I am inspired to do this video is because this video concerns two Afro-American women, two black women, two African women, anyhow you like to refer to them, but the women are black skin and the men are Caucasians. I don't know much about them, but I got a video that I watched, one of the men telling out his own side of the story, and that is Jamie Perkins. Jamie Perkins was telling everybody what Nikki thought had done to him before he decided to end the relationship. I can't say that I am not aware about I am not aware of KORRA Obidi and Justin Dean's case, because I have watched multiple snippets of videos on different platforms created by different content creators. So I need you all to like the video. If you're joining in for the first time, my name is Jillian. I need you to like the video. Like the video so you can see the broadcast. You can make it better. Thank you so much. Also, that encourages me. So like I was saying, I found lots of similarities in these relationships, and I want to talk about it on this live. The live is going to be long, I won't lie to you. So sit in tight. So let us begin the live. For all of you joining in for the first time, my name is Jillian, and this platform is called Contemporary Views. If you're joining in for the first time, do well to like the video and share the live. If you've not subscribed, do so. All right, so now let me read you a biography of Nikki Perkins, so you get to know who she is. I, for one, I really do not know much about her. When I heard her husband in a video that he did last year, complaining about Nikki, I began to see all of KORRA Obidi that I am versed with. So I'd like for you all to follow. Okay, so who is Nikki? Nikki Thought. She's known and famous for being Sudanese model and social media celebrity. Guys, I need you to begin to follow up right away because the similarities have begun. KORRA Obidi, in the other case, she is a singer, dancer, and so many other things, and she too is also very popular on social media. It means that the both women in these relationships are social media influencers. They are leading women in what they do, and they are popular and they have a huge following. Let's continue to read about Nikki Thought. She grew up in Australia and is a known face in the fashion industry. On the other hand, KORRA Obidi grew up in Nigeria and migrated to China, where she met her husband, her ex-husband, Justin Dean, who now took her to the United States of America because he's an American citizen. So that's the difference. Nikki Todd is a Sudanese Australian who already lived in Australia and then got to meet her ex-husband, Nikki Perkins. Okay. Okay, they're saying here that she's modeled for several top-notch brands and designers and married to a popular Australian YouTuber, Jamie Perkins. Of course, that's her ex-husband. Ami, thank you for joining. If you're joining in for the first time, do well to like the video and subscribe, all right? Nikki is married to popular Australian YouTuber Jamie Perkins. That should be her ex-husband because she's no longer married to him. She is currently a full-time vlogger. Nikki Todd is currently a full-time vlogger, so is KORRA Obidi. They both do lifestyle content and they are very present on all platforms on social media. Nikki and Jamie manage their family YouTube channel that hosts videos related to pregnancy and parenthood. That is the same case, or that was the same case with Justin Dean and KORRA Obidi as well. They too had a joint channel where they showed the world how they lived their life together as a couple, and it had content like parenthood, pregnancy, and others. Nikki also owns her own YouTube channel where she primarily posts content related to makeup and fashion. It's the same case with KORRA Obidi. KORRA has multiple platforms. She has multiple YouTube channels, multiple Facebook accounts, multiple Instagram accounts, and multiple TikTok accounts. She's everywhere, and content creation is her main business. She feeds and clothes herself and does pay her bills from content creation. So I am picking out some of the similarities about the women in both cases. Okay. She is also very active on Instagram, where her stunning pictures have captivated close to 1 million followers. I am not sure of how many followers KORRA Obidi has on Instagram, but I know she has a huge following across many platforms. It is the same case with Nikki Todd. So it looks like these two women are black. Yes, both of them have African descent. Both of them are content creators. Both of them fell in love and married white Caucasian men, one from America and the other from Australia. Both of them have 2 daughters each for their ex-husbands. So now I am going to play the video that inspired this live in the first place. And I'll be stopping and explaining some similarities that I found on the video. Remember, I told you that no one has compared these 2 couples on social media. I went through, I tried to look for videos, but I didn't see any. So then I listened to one of the videos done by one of the men involved, and I realized that I need to bring out these similarities because it looks like the same scenario playing out twice for two different couples. Yes, so I needed to bring that in. Welcome to my live. If you're just joining in, my name is Jillian. You're welcome. If this is your first time on this platform, please do well to subscribe so you get notifications when next I'm live, and then do well to like the video. If you have any prior knowledge of KORRA Obidi and Justin Dean, you can pop that at the comment section. If you have prior knowledge of Nikki Todd and Jamie Perkins, I need you to comment. So together we compare this couple and see what is going on. So I am going to go right to the video that made me do this live, and then from there we will be analyzing and comparing these two couples. Hi there, you're welcome to my live. My name is Jillian. If you are joining in for the first time, do well to like and subscribe.
And so, why I eventually left Nikki.
All right, guys. For better understanding, let me say that again. I am going to play a video that I stumbled on. This video is 1 year old, and this video is on Jamie Perkins' platform. This video has 1 million views already. Why I decided to do this live is because I feel that there is a lot of similarities in the lives or in the journey of KORRA Obidi and Justin Dean and that of Jamie Perkins and Nikki Todd. All right, so I would let you listen to the video from time to time. I will come in and then, you know, bring out the comparisons that I am talking about here. So this is Jamie Perkins speaking.
Talk about the unfaithfulness. I'm going to talk about family violence. I'm going to talk about some things that I've never wanted to talk about. You're probably asking, why would I talk about this 4 years later? Well, in the beginning, as I said, I never wanted to talk about it because I hoped that things would get better. But then as I went through my long divorce, I didn't want to talk about it while the divorce was still going because I was scared that I may lose even more from talking about it. So I never wanted to take that chance. I need to talk about it as well because I need to explain why I'm no longer able to provide for the girls the same way that I've been providing for so long. And why when I come back to YouTube, the type of content that I have to make will be so different. And I feel like I can't just throw that at you guys as my audience without some kind of explanation.
Hi there, thank you so much for joining. For those of you joining in right now, my name is Jillian. I am analyzing and comparing two relationships that ended, that of KORRA Obidi and Justin Dean with Nikki and Jamie Perkins. Okay, so actually Perkins is saying here that their relationship had to end because of abuse, violence, and unfaithfulness. If you are very versed with that of KORRA Obidi and Justin Dean, you would find out that These three things are the causes of the breakup that they also had. So why I'm doing this video is for us to decipher what actually went down. So let's continue listening to Jamie Perkins.
And ultimately, I just feel like I need to talk about what I've been going through for the sake of my mental health, because keeping this all bottled up for so long, it's been destroying me. It's been hard. If you're somebody who's watching this video and you empathize with me and what I've gone through, if you genuinely care about me, I'm asking you not to go and harass Nikki. Best thing that you can do, if anything, is just support me as I go ahead and support the girls.
I'm not dropping no damn kids in no police station.
You have to. You have to.
Now, Perkins is playing a recording of Nikki having an outburst because he accused her of abuse. It is the same way KORRA Obidi was accused of abuse from Justin Dean, her ex-husband, as well. So let's get this straight.
You actually have to.
It proves you don't care about these kids. Because
No, it proves I do, because I'm protecting their safety. I'm the one protecting their safety.
Report of a police last time. Did you not hear her last time?
I'm protecting the children from their safety. You've been violent. You've hit me in front of them. You've abused me in front of them.
That does not make them violent people. Let me remind you right now who you are. You are not shit. You ain't never been shit from day one. You will never be shit, you motherfucker. Try me. Fucking keep trying me.
I'm not trying you. I'm trying to be fair, and I'm trying to protect my safety and the kids' safety.
I will expose your ass. I swear to God I will. Keep fucking trying me, Jamie. I swear to God. No. I've had enough of this motherfucking shit. At the police station.
I think the only person who can be exposed is you. You're the cheater.
Now, do you realize that the same thing Justin Dean did to KORRA Obidi is the same thing Jamie Perkins did to Nikki Thought? You know, recording someone when they are not in the best frame of mind, when they are angry and all of that, I don't think it's going to be a good reflection of that person. So when someone is having a bad day, someone is breaking down from something, and then you begin to record them and bring to social media to post it just to prove a point, I want to believe that it spells narcissism. So let's continue to listen to Jamie Perkins' video.
The violent person, but I'm not doing that because I don't want my kids to have to see the real you on the internet. Where have I been? Why did I just vanish from YouTube? It's been months since I posted a video, and I feel like I can't come back to YouTube without.
All right, guys, I am going to fast forward the video. I'm going to fast forward the video so we don't spend the entire day here just listening to him, okay?
I've been just open about what my life's been like for the last 4 years and why I just gave up. And there's so much to unpack. I don't know how to put it all into a video. And then I can't talk about all of it because, I've been through the court system for a long time and I'm not able to talk about any of that stuff. My divorce only just finalised in March. Over the years, I've had to spend about $160,000 just on legal fees. And coming up with that money over the years had.
You can hear Jamie complaining about legal fees, just like Justin Dean has always done. You know, they always come to social media to talk about the divorce case. The fact is his own procedure took time, but Justin Dean and KORRA Obidi's own did not take so much time. But after their divorce was finalized, KORRA was even asked to pay Justin Dean for so many things, and even including lawyers' fees. She paid up Justin Dean from breaking away from Justin Dean. I don't know the case of Jamie, if Nikki had to pay him any amount of money, but he is here complaining about the lawyers' fees. So I am just trying to bring out some similarities because I feel like the two couples played out almost the same. Let's listen to this.
Legal fees, and coming up with that money over the years has been incredibly hard. There's been moments where I just didn't know how I was going to get that sort of money. I've been quietly struggling for a really long time, and I've just been in fear. I've been living in fear. I've been living in survival mode, pretty much on autopilot for a really long time, just trying to maintain my place as a father in Ava and Zoe's lives as if he was never seen again. and Jamie the father got washed in another direction.
Sorry,
and he survived, and
guys.
that's all I've really been able to have the strength. All I've really been able to have the strength to be is to be a father. It's like I've forgotten a lot of things that used to make me happy, that I used to be interested in. Even, I guess, like one of the ways to explain it is I used to be a music nerd. I've always been really into music, and a lot of the time I struggle to enter conversations about music and artists that I used to be really into and music history, stuff like that. It's like I've forgotten so much about things like.
Now, according to Jamie, he used to be a musician. He used to run a platform where he plays and posts music on that platform. In the case of Justin Dean is a chiropractor. He used to have a life before KORRA, and he practiced chiropractor. He practiced his work as a chiropractor in China, where he eventually met his ex-wife, KORRA Obidi. So let's continue listening to Jamie.
You used to really care about. It's like that part. Over the years, it's just like everything's about being a dad. People see being a dad. Being a dad it's my everything. It's my existence. It's what I've just poured my whole life into because it's something that's just been so incredibly important to me. And my life has just been made to be incredibly difficult over the years.
You can hear Jamie trying to say that the fact that he's being a dad, he has channeled most of his energy to that. Justin Dean usually says that all the time, and that they had to let go of some of the activities that they had before they met their various wives, just because they needed to give in their best to form a family. Okay?
When I first left Nikki, I truly hoped that we would be able to co-parent. I hoped that she would stay in the house that we lived in because it was her dream house. It was a house that I never wanted to get. It was an area that I loved, but I didn't want that house, and I really didn't want to renovate that house. I knew it was a bad idea. I knew how controlling Nikki was and how she got, and I knew with a newborn baby and how overworked I was.
Guys, did you get that? He said he knew how Nikki was controlling. He knew who Nikki was, but he still went ahead to start a family with her. Justin Dean will always say that he knew that he saw some things about KORRA, but he thought that the KORRA is going to change along the line, that they could be a perfect couple. They just wanted to try something. I don't know why, but I see lots of similarities between Justin Dean and Jamie Perkins. Okay, let's continue listening to Jamie.
It was a bad idea, but she insisted. We made an agreement that we wouldn't do the renovation ourselves and that we would budget and pay somebody else to do it all. And then after we bought the house, she just went back on that agreement, and it caused a lot of drama. And we went over that budget that we'd agreed on. It was just, that whole experience was a nightmare. It never felt like a home. It just felt like a thing. And I wasn't really allowed a say in any of it. And so I just assumed that she would keep that house and I would get a place close by, and we would try and co-parent for the sake of girls that we both loved and both still do love. But she left. She didn't want the house. I got stuck with it. I got stuck with paying the mortgage myself.
Listen to that. When Nikki and Jamie separated, Nikki left the house. It is the same scenario with KORRA Obidi. When they separated, she moved out of the house. Normally, in most separation cases, the women stayed, but in these particular ones, these two that I am comparing, both women had to leave. I don't know I don't know why, I don't know what's the reason, but he says that the house had some mortgage, but since Nikki had to move out, he was supposed to continue paying the mortgage of the house. But in the other one, Justin Dean had to kick KORRA Obidi out. KORRA had to start looking for a place, in as much as she had a small baby in her hands. So let's continue listening to Jamie and then try to compare across Justin and KORRA.
Paying the mortgage myself. The renovation still was unfinished, and she actually tried to make me pay for most of the renovation that needed to be done as well. I got stuck with the body corporate fees, with the rates, and she moved an hour and a half away. In good traffic, in peak hour traffic, it was about 2. And then I got hit with you can see your kids every second weekend, and then every second Wednesday from 10 a.m.
Now, isn't this the same thing that's going on with KORRA Obidi and Justin? The pick up and drop off of the kids is the same thing. Jamie is complaining here. When it comes to Jamie's turn and maybe he's not available and he wants Nikki to pick up the girls, It's not possible. But that's not the case with Justin. Justin would rather keep his girls away from their mom, KORRA Obidi. So I think that there are lots of similarities playing out here, slight differences, but both men maybe treated the women in the same light. So guys, if you know about these stories, please drop a comment so I can understand and see what you know about. Okay, let's continue listening to Jamie.
Till 6 p.m. and I feel like I can talk about this because I don't watch her videos, but people tell me when she makes videos and talks about certain things, and I had been told that she had made a video way back when where she had said that the girls lived with her and that was the arrangement. So that's what the arrangement was. It wasn't one that was like the judge didn't come up with that arrangement, she did. But in Australia, it's hard to get the right decisions. I'm being very careful with how I word this because I don't want to talk about anything that I'm not supposed to talk about, because it's not, information is already out there. I feel like I can. So that was quite difficult. I say quite difficult. It was the hardest thing I ever went through, seeing the girls that little. And she got to the point where she would refuse to even help with the pickups and drop-offs. So I was having to do all that driving on Wednesdays. It was particularly hard because I would hit peak hour traffic on the way there and then peak hour traffic when I was returning them. Fortunately, the girls were always so excited to get back to our house and have fun. But the trip there was never too long. We'd get good traffic on the way back, and then when I would drop them off, I'd be exhausted from all the fun we'd had in those 2 hours, and they would sleep. But it would exhaust me, and I would literally just spend my time away from them, planning things to do with them, because that made me feel like I was still connected to them. It made me feel like I was still a dad somehow, like still in their life, like I was still present. And that was the hardest time of my life. And I wanted to be a real dad more than anything. I didn't even know where Ava went to kindergarten. Not only did
you can listen to him here, her lamenting on how much he wanted to be full time in the lives of his daughters. It is the same case with Justin Dean, but now the amazing part or the similarity here is they both wanted to be in the lives of the children, but seemingly not wanting their mothers to be present. But Jamie here is a little bit different because he's really not actually spelling that out. He just wanted to leave some of the responsibilities, most of the responsibility, to Nikki. But in the other hand, Justin wanted KORRA Obidi completely out of the lives of the girls. That's not going to be possible. So let's keep listening to Jamie.
I didn't get to be involved in the decision of where she went to kinder or when she went to kinder. But she was enrolled. I didn't even know where she went to kinder. I didn't know how she was doing there. I didn't even get access to, these great kinder apps.
He's now talking about the school that he didn't get to choose the school the children had to go to. He wasn't even informed. He was surprised to hear that they started kindergarten or so. In the case of Justin Dean, he just wouldn't even pay school fees. Left to him, I don't know what the plan was, but he just would not even pay school fees. He would not even make his own quota or contributions as far as the kids' education is concerned. This is just to punish KORRA Obidi. But I didn't hear Nikki come out to say that Jamie would not pay child support or maybe pay their school fees, but she had to go ahead and pay because she felt that her children could not stay home because of school fees. It is the same case with KORRA Obidi. KORRA had to pay June's school fees, paying both the part that she was supposed to pay and that of Justin Dean because Justin Dean would not pay. So let's continue listening to Jamie.
These days where parents can see photos of what their kids are up to during the week and,
like the video, guys.
I didn't get access to that. I had to go through other means to finally find out that information and get to meet her teacher and find out how she'd been doing. And that was just, I remember when Zoe went to kinder, she had a Father's Day thing where the fathers were invited to come to the class and, be involved and see some of their artwork and sit down and paint with them, and almost cried in that class because it just felt like such an honor being able to experience that with Zoe because I just wanted that so bad with Ava. And it's been a long journey, and once again, I feel like I didn't mention this because I've been told Nikki has made a video where she's talked about the fact that we have joint custody. So I did eventually get joint custody, 50-50. I'm present dad, and I've been for a while. And I had to sacrifice a lot. Yeah. So once I was finally able.
Now there is a major difference here. In the case of Justin Dean and KORRA Obidi, Justin wanted 100% custody. Meanwhile, Jamie was fighting for 50-50. He didn't want full custody of the girls. He wanted just 50% custody of the girls. But in the case of KORRA and Justin wanted 100% custody. He just wanted KORRA out of the lives of her children. So let's keep listening to Jamie.
Sold the house. I moved down here. Nikki didn't think I ever would move here. She knew where we lived would be very hard for me. I didn't know anyone down here aside from I have one good friend who lived down here, which was just a blessing that he lives down here. I don't think I would have been able to get through this transition without him. It's been incredibly difficult for work. Like to work down here, there's not a lot going on. Where we live is very far from the city. It's essentially the country. There's not a lot going on down here, especially for creatives. When Nikki and I first broke up, I had hoped to follow some of my dreams.
Like the video, guys.
Start taking risks again, because at that point in time, we both had money. We were both relatively well off, and we were both relatively set up. We both could have succeeded if things, if we had been amicable and decided to put the girls first, we both could have had very successful careers. I wanted to be creative again and take some risks and start traveling again, and I still wanted to do the family YouTube, and I've worked hard doing this over the years. So I wanted to do that, but also wanted to get back into filming for other people, because that's always where I was the happiest. But when I discovered that I was going to have to, do everything and anything to remain, a really present father in the girls' lives, to fight for that, I made the decision that I couldn't travel. I couldn't get like a regular job, because I needed to be able to be a stay-at-home dad. I needed to be able to...
Before we continue, guys, I need you to take note of this. He is actually saying here that he had to let go of the things he wanted to do, like the kind of job that he was doing, because he filmed videos for people. He is like a content creator that he creates content and sell out to people or stuff, but he had to stop all of that because he had to put himself together in a family way. In other words, he had to let go of his passion. He had to let go of his dreams so that they both can foster the dreams that Nikki thought has. Justin Dean as well will tell you that all the time, that he had to let go of his job as a chiropractor in China to move back to the US. He was doing well in China, but due to the support KORRA's work needed, he had to let go of everything so that he can support KORRA the best way he could. I just need you guys to take note of that. Let's keep listening to Jamie.
Put myself in a position where I could continue being a really, really present dad who can do all the school pickups, who can do the school drop-offs, who can, do everything at home that I needed to do. And Nikki was never going to get a regular job, and she always had that, she's going to be at home. So YouTube, the family vlog, was what I decided to focus on the most, because that's what allowed me to be the most present father that I could be. It's allowed me to just spend so much time with the girls. It's been the biggest blessing in the world to be able to...
He said that joining the family vlog was a way for him to be family with his children. This means that this man had to let go of his work. It is the same case with Justin Dean. When he decided to marry KORRA, he stopped working. So these men technically stopped working because their women's YouTube or content creation business was thriving. So they had to drop off every kind of work they were doing to put in 100% support. That is what they're saying. And technically, it means that they were all feeding from this same business, this same content creation that women did. So let's be guarded, guys. It's the same layout.
Share all these experiences with them and experience so much of their younger years in a way that I wouldn't have been able to if I was doing another job. YouTube has been the saving grace of our family since the beginning. When Nikki and I got married,
YouTube has been the saving grace of our family since Nikki and I got married. Does that mean Nikki was the cash cow? It's the exact same case with KORRA, Obidi, and Justin Dean. Elena, thank you for joining my live. You're welcome.
Well, before Nikki and I got married, we had discussed in detail what we thought a marriage would look like. And we both agreed that our marriage was going to look like us both working and being a partnership, being a team, and setting goals and buying a house one day and working towards that. And I've always had health problems since my early teenage years, which have held me back with work over the years. I've had my struggles. But when we first got married, Nikki decided she didn't want to work. Nikki, before we got married, Nikki worked part-time in hospitality.
Guys, let us get this straight. He is saying that when they got married, Nikki didn't want to work. What do you call content creation? What do you call content creation? Somebody who has multiple platforms with over millions of followers and view millions of views. Content creation is a job that so many people get paid to do. So you can't say that she didn't want to work. She had a platform that was doing well and is still doing well. She's a model. She has lots of brands she's been modeling for. It's the same case with KORRA Obidi. KORRA Obidi has multiple channels across all platforms, most platforms. If you go to TikTok, she has multiple channels on TikTok, multiple pages on Facebook, multiple channels on YouTube. These things make money. She pays her bills from these things. So I don't get it. Why is Jamie saying that Nikki did not have a job and did not want to work? Content creation, my darlings, is work. Let's continue listening to Jamie.
And then she did modeling on the side. It was her passion. That was something that I believed, and I still believe she could have been incredibly successful in. It's something that she's always used to talk about. Always used to talk about how one day she was going to be a supermodel, and I truly believe that she was going to be. She was, still is a very beautiful woman. I can't take that from her. And she went to.
I like that. She says that Nikki can thrive in whatever she wanted to do, that she's a model and she's still a beautiful woman, and he can't take that from her. Can you imagine the mindset of that man? Can you imagine the mindset of Jamie Perkins? So if he has a means to take away Nikki's beauty, maybe he would have taken it from her. Isn't that KORRA Obidi and Justin Dean playing out right before you? All the money KORRA made, she made from her talents. She sings, she dances, she does skits, she does video vixen for other people, she stages, she goes to events, she hustles for the money she spends. So there is no way KORRA getting divorced or Nikki thought getting divorced will make them poor, because they are both talented Black women who have huge followings on social media and have now become your influencers. Let's continue listening to Jamie.
York, it didn't go the way that she thought it would, and that was hard for her. And then she got the opportunity to go to South Africa, and she didn't want to go. And I tried to put myself in her shoes, and I thought, if I had an opportunity to do something that had always been my dream, what would I want to do? And because I cared about her and I believed in her, I encouraged her to go and take the chance, and I built her up and told her I believed in her. I truly did. And she went to South Africa, and the OG subscribers who watched all of that know, it didn't really go as planned. And when she came back,
Guys, he's saying that he encouraged Nikki to go for a project in South Africa. She didn't want to go, and he encouraged her to go. Isn't that what Justin Dean always says about KORRA Obidi? That they called her somewhere to perform. KORRA doesn't want to go. He will go see her off. He will ensure that KORRA goes. But after the divorce, he would make problems when KORRA had to travel out for projects. So let's keep listening to Jamie. Honestly, I see KORRA Obidi and Justin Dean play out in the story of Jamie Perkins and Nikki Todd.
Took that really hard. And I understand that it wouldn't have been easy because, she built herself up and it didn't go the way that she hoped for. And I hold a lot of the blame for that because I encouraged her and I built her up and made her believe that it could be something that it didn't eventuate to be. And she was struggling with depression and said she didn't want to work. She wanted to take a break from work. And initially I was supportive of that because I wanted her to be happy. I wanted to be a good husband. Obviously, I'd never been a husband before. I'd never been in the provider role. And I just wanted to do what I could to give her the best life that she could, because she had a hard life. She'd been through a lot growing up. I was just trying to give her what I believed that she deserved. And so I started trying to do whatever I could do to make things work. I believed that eventually she would go back to work, and it wouldn't always be like this. And I was working 7 days a week. I had so many different jobs. I worked in retail part-time. I was interning as a videographer, trying to learn how to, be a videographer and start my own business. But a lot of the jobs that I was doing, I wasn't getting paid for, or I was getting paid very minimal, so that wasn't paying a lot. I was picking up jobs with my dad on building sites when they would come up, just laboring. And then I was doing this YouTube thing.
Jamie says that he was doing so much. Sometimes he wasn't paid, sometimes he was paid small amount, so he was not meeting up. So it is not like he decided to leave his jobs he was doing for full-time content creation with his wife because his jobs were doing well, and then he decided to become family. He decided to want to be a family with his wife. It's simply because he was not getting enough money. So he felt that going to work as, what did he even say there? That he created content for people and blah 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 blah. It felt like it was not paying off. Isn't that the same case with KORRA and Justin Dean? Why did Justin have to leave his job for full-time content creation with his wife if his job was paying him that well? Why did he have to leave his job? Guys, I need you to like the video. All right, let us compare two interracial couples who are now exes. Let's continue listening to Jamie.
Videos in the beginning that come out, I think like once a month, or sometimes even longer periods than that. But I was spending a lot of time researching how to make YouTube work, how to monetize it, because we were getting a few $100s a month in the beginning, and that just seemed like free money, and I saw a potential in it. And I was working 7 days a week. I was so exhausted. I had started this channel years before Nikki and I even started dating, and I would post my music on it. I would post videos of my S2000 on it. It was just something that I did for fun. But then the proposal video went viral, and it sort of turned into something else. And Nikki loved watching vlogs.
This is Jamie here trying to take the glory for the progress or for the success of their pages on social media. That he worked 7 days a week to try to understand YouTube algorithm, to try to understand how they could get better on YouTube and make more money. So he was otherwise putting in so much work because he edited the videos, he did the recordings and all of that. Isn't that the same thing Justin would say on social media? He's always said that he has been helping KORRA out. He used to edit KORRA's waist. He used to edit the videos and make KORRA look flexible and make her look more beautiful and stuff, so that she could get more views. So just like I said, I see the case of KORRA Obidi playing out in that of Nikki Thoughts.
Video went viral, and it sort of turned into something else. And Nikki loved watching vlogs. I didn't really see the point of vlogs, to be honest, in the beginning, but she was passionate about it, and I wanted her to have something, and I saw the potential in it. So I would build and build and build in the hopes that eventually she would take over, because that was the original plan, that she was going to take over. That's what she wanted to do. She wanted me to teach her how to edit and film and things like that. And it did continue to take over, but for the most part, I was doing all the work side, and I was networking behind the scenes, and I was building and just hoping that eventually she would take over or get a job of some sort. And it never changed, and I was just burning myself out. So in the first, when we first got married, I actually had pneumonia twice in 1 year. I was hospitalized quite badly with it at one point, and I spoke to the doctor about everything that I was doing, how hard I was working, how overworked I was, how stressed I was, and my health conditions. It's like, no wonder you've got pneumonia. No wonder your immune system is just so broken down. You're getting sick all the time. This is too much for you to handle. And she acknowledged that I needed to slow down, but just acted like I was overreacting about how much I needed help. And I was just always stressed. So I felt like I had to make YouTube work. I had to do something to make it work. And I was trying to build my video business at the same time as well. And it wasn't really making money, but it was growing. And I was so happy doing what I was doing with that. And I was so in love with Nikki, but I just wanted to make our marriage work as well, even though we had all these issues around work and around her attitude that as a husband, I was just supposed to provide for her. And she wanted to just take care of the house. I was to share the household duties. I wanted us to share the work. It wasn't like I was taking a full-time job. She never really wanted to. And when it got to the point where we got pregnant with Ava, and she was desperate for children. I was desperate to make her happy. I just wanted our marriage to get better. She kept telling me kids things would get better. She would want, she'd be more motivated. And when it got to the point where got pregnant, my channel blew up even more. I just felt like I kind of had to give up on my dreams and my job of having a film company and focus full time on YouTube. And she wanted me at home, and she wanted YouTube to be the thing so long as I was doing all the work. And that's kind of how YouTube was our saving grace, because we weren't making a lot of money before YouTube became the full-time job. We were just, we were getting by.
We were not making a lot of money before YouTube became our saving grace. She wanted me to do all the work. Now, let me understand. Who does more? The person who tries to create the content and make it watchable, and the person who edits the work. I understand as a content creator that to edit sometimes is not easy. You can shoot a content for 30 minutes and then use 4 hours to edit that 30 minutes work, or even a day. That is very correct. But then this was all by choice, because before you met this woman, she did content. She created her content, she posted them. If you did not offer to edit her content, she could still pay editors outside, or better still, edit them herself. You said that you didn't want her to, it's not like you wanted her to share the work at home. You people are a couple. You're supposed to do things together. It's not a woman or a man's thing to, run a home with children. It's supposed to be a teamwork. So like I said, I see KORRA Obidi playing out here on this Jamie and Nikki story. So let's continue listening to Jamie.
And YouTube, just honestly, like, we were blessed. We were beyond blessed with the amount of money that we made out of YouTube. It was me doing the majority of the work with YouTube. And the reality is, YouTube never would have been what it was without her. I'm not narcissistic delusional. People didn't watch the channel for me. Nikki is charismatic. She's great to look at. She's funny. She's creative. She's somebody who is much more of a natural when it comes to talking to the camera than I am. I'm the type of person I like to be behind the camera much more than in front of the camera. So I've always known that people watch predominantly, for her. I kind of felt like I didn't have my own identity for a long time. I was just Nikki's husband, but it was the hit that I had to take for our family to have what I thought was the best life that they could have. And over the years I did try and say, take the channel, let me go back to work. I got my office, and I would try and go to the office, but she would always have excuses for me to stay home. And I wasn't able to have my own thing. So YouTube, it has been the saving grace of our family since our family began without YouTube. I don't know how we would have gotten by with me being the only one working, and how bad my health was getting with the pressure of being the only one working. And now I can't do YouTube anymore. I can't go fully into detail, but essentially an agreement was made that I agreed.
Jamie can't do YouTube anymore. Isn't that the same case with Justin Dean? Justin Dean has been trying so hard on Facebook, but it's just not his thing. So he had to go back to his job as a chiropractor. Let's listen.
It wasn't an agreement that, was written up by higher ups. It was just an agreement that had a very broken point where I just wanted to end all this drama. I wanted to move on with my life, where I've been diagnosed with PTSD from all the stuff that I've been through.
Wow.
I have situational depression. And I signed an agreement that says I can only make one video a week, which my channel is a family channel. When you look at the analytics, we go to what your subscribers have watched recently. Every video is always a family vlog. So the algorithm categorizes my channel as a family channel and pushes the videos out to people who watch predominantly family vlogs. So if I do a video that isn't a family vlog, it doesn't get put out. Like, let's say I do a car video and I title it with car sort of stuff. I put the thumbnail with car sort of stuff. When I put that video out, it doesn't get pushed out to people who like car videos. It still gets pushed out to people who like family videos. So making video outside of my genre is very hard because people watch for a certain reason, which is completely understandable. It's the same thing with all my other platforms. I'm kind of categorized in that way. So there's an agreement in place where I can only make one video a week, and that goes across all my platforms. So let's say I make a 5-second reel on Instagram 1 week. That means I can't post my weekly YouTube video that week. The more my views go down, the less that I can charge for when I do sponsored videos. How I've been making money over the years. I make very little money off of YouTube AdSense. These are sort of, some the months, sort of typical months that I've been having for a long time. So it's not enough to live off, to pay my rent off. I need to get, brand deals. But brands don't pay for how many subscribers you've got. They pay for, what your average view count is. So it's been very hard to maintain YouTube as something that I can do for a job, even though it's been what I've done for a job for so long. And I get more money from Instagram campaigns than I do YouTube campaigns these days. And then I also have the fear of posting videos that aren't sponsored, because the way my industry works is it's very fast paced. A lot of the time, a company will reach out to me and say, we need someone to create content in the next couple of days. Can you do a video? And, usually they're really fun videos that me and the kids, we love to do. Me and the kids, we love making videos, especially YouTube videos. That's where we have the most fun. Because we just get to have so much fun and do so many amazing experiences. And it's what's allowed me to be so present. We love doing them for free. But it's like, I've had situations come up where a brand will come to me and say, hey, we need you to make a video or something really simple in the next couple of days for us.
Jamie Jamie says that he and his kids loved doing YouTube videos together, and that made them really happy. But there's a difference there, because in the case of Justin Dean, after their separation, did not even want to hear that their children are on social media. But unfortunately, lately, KORRA has won her rights back, maybe to do stuff with her children on social media, because her children were suspended from appearing on social media for quite a while, say 1 year plus or 2 years. Yeah, so but recently she can now showcase her children on her platforms, and she's been doing so. Yes. So let's listen to Jamie Perkins.
If you guys having fun with a toy or something like that, which is stuff we love to do. But I have to say, sorry, I uploaded a video this week. I can't do it this week, I can't do it next week. There has been times I'll just say, no, I'm sorry, but our campaign is this week. And so it's like, if I post a video I'm not making money out of, it can make it so I can't post a video I can make money out of. And I need to pay my rent, because the way I've been living for a long time is I've kind of been averaging one brand deal a month. It was like a miracle. I would go through the month thinking, how am I going to get my rent paid? How am I going to get these lawyers paid? And then a brand deal would magically come through. So it would be scary to post something that was just something really fun. That, like me and the kids, we always make videos for fun that we never post. And there's stuff that I would enjoy posting, but it's like it could sabotage my chance of paying my rent that month. I was getting by living like this, with this, one video a week type deal, and it was becoming harder and harder. And then in March, the divorce finally finalized, and it felt like I finally got to take a breath. And I started looking around at how much I've lost, how much I've been forced to sacrifice, and I can't give up. I've done a few brand deals over the past few months, because I've had to pay my rent, and I know people get upset only seeing branded videos, and it makes sense. I understand people don't just want to see ads, and it's not what I want to give you guys. I want to give you guys genuine content, but as you can probably now understand, it's been hard. And I understand there's something really cringeworthy about an influencer complaining about not being able to, do a social media job. Because social media, it is an industry that has absolutely no guarantees, and it is pure privilege and blessing to be able to say that your job, the way that you earn money, is through entertaining people on social media. That's not lost on me at all. It has been a privilege and a blessing. I've been incredibly lucky. I've got to have experiences that a lot of people would kill for, and some of them I'm paid for, some of them I'm not, but I've been incredibly lucky and blessed over the years, and way worse situations than me, and that's why I feel guilty even in complaining about this situation that I'm in now. And if my career had completely ended on its own accord, I would just take it. There's no complaint, because it's a blessing. I've been doing this for 12 years. There's not many people, in 12 years, there's not many people who can say that. So it's an absolute blessing and not a right. But the hard part is it wasn't of its own accord. The career didn't completely die on its own. And it was always going to go down. It's always been going down. But I still could have survived off it a bit longer while I finally got to pick myself back up again, because until the divorce finalized, I was focusing solely on.
Now, can you relate to this? It's clear that KORRA Obidi and Nikki Todd are the main providers for their respective families. They were the main providers of the respective families. You can see how Jamie Perkins is lamenting here just because he separated from his wife, Nikki Todd, and he had to now struggle to pay his rent as an influencer. Things were not working out well for him because he had relaxed. He had decided to stop working because he saw that the YouTube money was coming in. So now, who was actually working for who? I want to believe that the women in this case were actually working for the men, because even Justin Dean was not doing anything when KORRA Obidi was married to him. It is after the separation that he had to go back to his chiropractor job. And after going back to chiropractor job, you all witness that Justin Dean came to social media to ask for money from people. Yes, he even created a GoFundMe to finance his case and stuff. So this is just to tell you that the women actually were the the breadwinners of their respective families. That's a similarity. So let's keep listening to Jamie Perkins.
On getting to remain in the girls' lives as a real dad, not every second weekend dad, and I didn't really focus on anything else. And it's only now that I can finally start thinking, what can I do with my life? How can I provide? And I'm in a lot of debt now. I'm in more debt than I have money or assets to cover. This month
Did you hear that? Jamie says he's in a lot of debt now. Where is the debt coming from? Does that mean his wife took care of him and funded his lifestyle? Is that the reason why he's in a lot of debt now, because he's separated from his wife? Justin Dean from time to time has been complaining too. So let's listen to Jamie.
Yeah, I'm not doing great anymore. I guess I've tried to keep up appearances over the years because I'm a lifestyle creator. So there's the pressure of, kind of looking like you're doing all right, at least for Instagram. On Instagram, I try and keep everything polished because that's kind of what people want to see. So I've, kind of had to invest in clothes and, things like that. The Porsche, the only reason I had the privilege for so long was, I think I can say this, it was part of an asset pool with the divorce. So it wasn't actually owned by me. It was owned by our old company. So I wasn't able to sell it. If it wasn't for the divorce going for so long, I wouldn't have maintained that car for as long as I did. But now I'm in a place where I'm trying to figure out what to do. I live very far from the city. So there isn't a lot of creative opportunities down here for someone, with my skill sets. I'm decent with video, but I'm pretty rusty with traditional video because I've just been doing YouTube stuff for a long time. I'm trying to figure out what to do that I can still do the school runs with, because the girls live with me week on, week off, and I need to be able to get them to school and pick them up from school. My mum has moved down here and she helps. She doesn't drive and the bus system doesn't go near her house. So, I have to get them to her house. So for now, the only thing that I've been able to figure out that I can do where I won't lose my place in their life as a real dad is Uber. So for the last few months, I've been an Uber driver. Some of you guys have, you've gotten in my car.
Guys, did you hear that? Jamie says that for the last few months, he's been an Uber driver. I want to commend him for that, because it is not easy to fall from grace to grass and then you try to do something for yourself. It means that all along, Nikki fended for the family. Nikki provided for the family. So the divorce was like a big change that he could not on to. So he had to, start again. So let's continue listening to Jamie, all right?
I've been like, wait, I know you. Why are you my Uber driver? And for the most...
Oh my God. Sorry, guys.
Uber driver. And for the most part, I don't want to bum people out. And I just say I'm taking a break from YouTube. But the reality is, this is how I'm trying to pay my rent. I will, the week that the girls aren't here, I'll work 10, sometimes 12-hour days. This car isn't the most fuel efficient, so it's not the greatest car for Uber, but it's kind of what I've got at the moment. I'll work through the week while they're gone, because when they come back, the original plan was to, do Uber while they're at school, and then do Uber, after school, after I drop them at my mum's house, and that's what I do a lot of the time. But because I live so far out, there's not a lot of trips down here, and I have to stay in this area. I can't drive to the city because, within the time periods I've got between school pickups and between getting them home to bed and making sure they're all ready for bed. If I go to the city and back, the amount of petrol I use, it sort of eats up the profit that you make. So I purposely stay in this area while I'm doing it, and sometimes an hour and a half, and then get a 10-minute trip, because people down here, they're just taking short trips. They're not really going far most of the time. There's a very occasional person going to the airport, which if it's a day where I'm with the kids, I can't do those trips. Something I have to say is I'm enjoying the interaction with so many people. I felt really isolated for a long time, and I developed social anxiety, and this has been helping me get over social anxiety. I set a goal to find something that I like about every person who gets in my car, and most of them have been just so nice. I've really had some experiences that I've really, really enjoyed. And I'm actually starting to see a bit of my old self come through again through conversations that I'm having with people. It's actually helping my healing, but it's not earning enough to be able to provide for the girls the way I want to provide. So I've gotten to the point where I've realized I can't maintain the rent of the house that I'm in right now.
There is something amazing that he just said, that he's not been able to meet up with the demands of the girls. This means that their mom still does all for them. He is honest here. He is being mindful here. He is being human here to accept that he is not meeting up with financial obligations of his daughter. But that's the difference between Jamie and Justin Dean. Justin Dean will just not accept that he's not doing enough. Justin Dean will just not accept that he doesn't have enough. But it is clear that KORRA has been doing everything. I mean, everything for the children. Pays the school fees, feeds them, carry them, their boardings on herself, give them the life that they deserve. But in the case of Justin, it's not like that. Justin only wanted to remove KORRA completely in the lives of the children. But now Jamie can't even want that, because he doesn't even have the means. He doesn't have the means. So now that's just the difference between the two men. Let's continue listening to Jamie.
Right now. And I also know that that's a privilege. It's a privilege to have. It's a pretty nice house. It's a 3-bedroom house with an office and a hot tub and a small backyard for us to run around in. So it's a blessing. It's not true. It's not right. It's a blessing to have a nice house. But the thing is, I know if I was doing YouTube consistently, or if I could do a few reels a week, I could maintain that. While I figure out what my next move is living down here. So over the last 4 years, I've just been in Nikki has been trying to end my YouTube career since we broke up.
Over the last 4 years, Nikki has just been trying to end my YouTube career after the breakup. How will Nikki want to end your career? You have your page, you have your channel. She has her own. How is she going to try to end yours? The difference is the main person that brought you the views is no longer there. Obviously, people will follow her to her new channel. So she's not trying to end your channel. It's the same thing with Justin Dean. She fought for ownership of KORRA's channels. She fought for ownership that she owns part of it. They had to go to court until the court awarded them to KORRA that they belong to KORRA. Can you imagine that? How can you fight to own a page that was originally not yours in the first place? A channel that originally wasn't yours. The main character of that channel that brings views to that channel is no longer there. So many people are going to walk away. You all watching me right now come to this channel because I am the person doing my presentation. Maybe in some years to come, I'm no longer there. I want to believe that if the other person doesn't pleases you, you will not be you will not stick to the channel. Of course, you're going to move. My goodness. Guys, let's continue listening to Jamie.
Since I broke up. In the beginning, should have been I take down all the old videos, which I knew would really hurt the channel because of the way the algorithm works. Any YouTube coach will tell you the worst thing you can do for a channel is to take down all videos. But I didn't want the drama. I wanted us to be able to move forward. So I did it at the point that I did it. I finally started to gain subscribers again. Like I'm talking like a few hundred a month, not a lot, but before that I was losing thousands of subscribers a month. And ever since I took down the old videos, I've been back to losing thousands of subscribers a month. So the channel has just been dying over the years, and the algorithm sees that because it's all machines figuring.
The channel is simply dying because the main content creator is no longer there. People want to see Nikki and her kids. They are no longer on the channel, so people are bound to leave to follow Nikki wherever she's gone, to watch her. Let's continue listening.
Stuff, that's a big reason why my videos don't get pushed out. A lot of people tell me they're not only subscribed, but they've got notifications turned on. They don't get the notifications. And then I went through the cancel culture stuff. That was incredibly hard. When Nikki and I broke up, I made a decision that I didn't want to talk about why I left her. I didn't want the girls to find out. I wanted it to be something that when they're growing up, old enough to understand, perhaps we would have a conversation about it. But I didn't want them to know while they were young. I wanted things to not be.
You didn't want to let the girls know why you left their mother, but you're talking about it right now on social media. You're not actually letting the girls know, but you're letting the world know. Don't you see Justin Dean in Jamie Perkins? He said that a lot, but he was quick to disgrace the woman who bedded his girls. They are women. They're going to grow up most definitely, and they will understand. There is no way you hurt the mother of a child so much on social media publicly, and then they will grow up to see that and then appreciate. Well, they would grow up and would still be there to get it. Let's continue listening to Jamie.
As messy as they have been, I've dealt with the cancel culture, the rumors. I guess I have to be quite careful in how I say this. So coincidentally, when everyone was trying to figure out what caused our breakup, and we weren't saying what caused our breakup, Nikki was coincidentally liking a lot of pretty toxic posts, and at that point in time there was like a feed on Instagram that would you could just go to that feed and see what a person was interacting with. So all these people on the gossip forums and stuff were just running whatever she was liking and coming up with rumors from it. And then at the time when Instagram changed that, where that interaction feed was gone, suddenly she coincidentally started posting all these quotes, like narcissist quotes and all that sort of stuff, which led to a lot of hate. And I think because I wasn't doing the same thing back, people just had this assumption that I was the sole cause of our divorce, and I got I dealt with so much hate over the years from what I know, the cheating rumor started from, I'm pretty sure a burner account leaving a comment on one of Nikki's Instagram photos about how I cheated on her, and it gained a lot of traction and remained there, and people assumed that that was the truth. And then there was a woman who made a video titled Jamie Perkins Cheated on Nikki. And
Jenny Perkins cheated on Nikki. Justin Dean cheated on KORRA. Let's be listening.
it's to the point where when you type my name in YouTube, I believe it's still like that. When you type my name in YouTube, type Jamie Perkins, the sort of autofill at the end is cheated. So when people look me up, that's always what they see. They believe that is fact. That video that lady made got over 1 million views. I searched for it because it got to the point where I was going to contact her and just human to human ask her to take it down, but I noticed I couldn't see it anymore. So I don't know why. Perhaps she decided to have a heart and take it down. I don't know. But then there was a lot of other people who made similar videos as well, and that was hard to cope with because the reason Nikki and I broke up was I discovered she had been unfaithful. She'd been going behind my back with her ex-boyfriend, and I'd been warned about him being an issue before.
There you are. The reason why he broke up with Nikki is because Nikki was having a relationship with her ex. Isn't that the same thing Justin Dean accused KORRA of? Infidelity? Let's keep listening, guys.
I started dating Nikki again, and the first year of our marriage, I discovered that she had been secretly keeping in contact with him, and I didn't see her side of the messages. I saw the Facebook message. Like back then, Facebook used to email you a receipt of the message, and I logged into my Hotmail, and her Hotmail was still logged in. I saw all these messages from him, but she had deleted them on her Facebook, so I didn't know what her responses was. But this guy had been saying he was in love with her, and he told her to leave me for him, and we'd always hear about him talking to people about how he was in love with her and how he was going to get her back, and I just thought this guy was a joke. I didn't think much of it.
Now that's the same case with Justin Dean. Justin Dean said he saw messages on KORRA's phone, that he went through her WhatsApp or something and saw messages that she's been having an amorous relationship with people from her past, and he accused her of multiple infidelities. It's the same thing Perkins is saying here that happened with Nikki. So let's hear it.
In that first year of marriage, when I discovered that she had been secretly talking to this guy, it nearly broke us up. It took away a lot of the trust that I had for her, and we moved past it, and I feel like I blocked it out of my memory. It was like I just buried that, and we moved forward, and I never thought I would have to worry about this guy again. And I won't go into details, but I discovered some things I never thought I would discover to do with her and him, and I left. Our marriage had been struggling for a long time. For about 3 years or so, I had been desperately just trying to do everything that I could to fix our marriage, to make her happy, to give her what she wanted. Our marriage kind of went on her timeline. I was always obsessively reading books on marriage, seeking out different marriage counselors, begging to go to counseling. And we went to 3 different counselors over 3 years in hopes that one of them could help. Things weren't great between us, but I loved her, and I wanted things to work, and I wanted my girls to grow up in a 2-parent household, and I was willing to do anything that I could to make our marriage work. But faithfulness was my one.
Jamie Perkins and Justin Dean wanted to do everything possible for their marriages to work, and they wanted their daughters to grow up in homes, but they were the first to come out on social media to tell the world what their wives have been doing. I'm not saying that what the women did to them allegedly was right, but it takes just wishes to stay married. It takes work. Let's keep listening to Jamie.
Thing I couldn't look past, and when I found out, when it was all undeniable, I left. This time it was different, and I left, and I was gone for good. There was no begging her to be with me. There was no.
He said that when he saw that the relationship would not last, he left. In Justin Dean's case, he had decided even before KORRA put to birth that the relationship was over. So it was not the women leaving the men were leaving the women, irrespective of they also having things the men did to them. So they were more of staying together because they wanted to form a family. They wanted to have their children grow in families. Both men really wanted families. They were willing to do whatever it took, but in the end, the men left. Let's keep listening to Jamie.
Begging her to make it work. There was none of that anymore. It was just like, I'm done. Let's co-parent. Let's end this. And that made her furious. And when I first discovered all of this, I told my parents, and I told one friend. She contacted pretty much every person that I was close to and told them a whole different story. I've seen some of the messages people in my life have gotten about what happened between us, the amount of effort she put into trying to get into lives of people that meant something to me was just, I never experienced anything like that. And it was crazy because when we were together, we used to actually argue over the fact she didn't really put any effort into trying to be friends with the people that were important to me, or, you know, that she didn't really want my friends in our lives all that much. And then when we broke up, it was like, I have to make sure that I take whatever means anything to you from you. And I didn't really have the energy to defend myself from a lot of the stuff that went around. I mean, it got to the stage where my family overseas, my relatives overseas, were getting long emails from her, starting off with, I just felt it in my heart that I had to reach out to you and tell you what I've really had to deal with. And it wasn't just lies about me, it was lies about my parents as well. My parents really loved her like their own blood. My parents loved her so much, they did so much for her over the years. My mum would come and do so much of our housework. She just loved Nikki like the daughter she never had. My dad loved Nikki like the daughter she never.
It is always about their parents. Isn't that so? It is always about the parents of the white men. Justin Dean's mother said lots when stuff happened, but KORRA's father did not say a thing. I don't know if Nikki Thought's family has even made anything public, has even said anything, but you can hear Jamie saying his entire family's heart was broken when Nikki had to leave their family and all sorts of that, and that her parents loved Nikki as though Nikki's own parents didn't like him. Is that? Now let's continue to listen to Jamie.
That he never had. And when we broke up, Nikki tried to turn them against me as well. Not just telling them things that she claimed had happened to her, but telling them things that I had said about them to try and break that bond. And my parents still loved her. Like they weren't going to turn on their son, and then they wouldn't turn on me, she turned on them. And their life has been incredibly hard. It wasn't just me who had to move to remain in the girls' lives. My mum's 80 years old. She left Geelong. Geelong's 2.5 hours away from where we live. She left Geelong, got her own place. She's starting her life from scratch down here. It's hard for her, but it's even hard for her not seeing her grandkids, who she's always been present in their life.
So Nikki even took care of Jamie's parents. Jamie is saying it here, that because of the separation, the mom had to move out to somewhere else to start from afresh. Wow. Just wow. Let's keep listening, guys.
Since I was born, my dad's 75 years old, still works full-time as a builder in Geelong. He can't start over down here because he's not ready to retire yet, and he also can't afford to retire. So he works in Geelong 5 days a week. Then on Friday night, he waits for the traffic to die down. He drives down here on a Friday night, gets to my mum's house at 10, 11 o'clock at night. And then he spends all of Saturday with my mum and sees his grandkids. And then Sunday night, he drives back to Geelong and he does this all over again. And my parents are struggling as well. My dad's exhausted. He's always exhausted, but he never complains. He never admits how hard this all is on him. And it's hard on my mum being so far away from him too. Like they're on the phone every single day to each other. They miss one another. They want to live together, but they can't. They can't at this point in time. My dad's paying a mortgage on the house that they have in Geelong.
Or volume.
And when it gets to the point where they sell that house, there's a lot of work that will need to be done on that house, or demolished and rebuild something on there because it is in a decent area of Geelong. And then they're paying a rental where we are now. And as their son, I should be helping them more. And I've tried to help over the years. When I've had more money, I have helped. But now I can't even afford. I'm not making enough money to afford to pay my rent, given my current circumstances.
Did you hear that? Jamie just said he doesn't have enough money. He can't even afford his rent. Does that mean that it was Nikki Todd who took care of him and his family? Because he says his dad is 75 and he still actually works. His mom works. And when the relationship ended, they had to move out of the house. I can imagine the burden that Nikki had for this family. But yet she was not a good daughter-in-law, a good wife. Let's keep listening.
Unless, like brand deals suddenly come through, which sometimes they do. So that's where we're at. Like it's hard. And my dad lost his job of 18 years. He worked for Porter Davis. Porter Davis shut down. If you're in Australia, you'd know about how Porter Davis shut down. And luckily he was able to get a job with somebody he'd worked with, like a guy who used to work at Porter Davis, moved to another company and was able to get him a job in Geelong. But down here, a 75-year-old man who knows no one in the industry down here, realistically, I don't think he'll be able to get a job here. So he just keeps working in Geelong. We've all just been doing whatever we have to do to remain in the girls' lives. But it's at the point where I've realised I've given too much. I've given more than I can give, and I can't continue this way. I want to be able to give the girls the best lives that I can, but there's just constant restrictions. It's like I'm constantly having to give up more and more and more. And Nikki, she's just wanted my life to be as high as possible. Over the years, I've had severe social anxiety because of what she did, which is obsessively telling lies about me and feeling like she's just going to demolish relationships. To the point where I just became a recluse for a long time. I had hardly any friends that I spoke to. I had a few people, but I didn't trust people anymore. I didn't want to trust people anymore. I became really recluse. Like when we went into lockdown, and it wasn't so hard for me because it just felt like the life I was already living. And then I decided I wanted to try and be social again. I wanted to get to know people somehow. So I only knew one person down here. And I joined Dad's playgroup. And Zoe and I would go to it every Wednesday. By this point, girls were with me every Wednesday and every Thursday. So every Wednesday, Zoe and I would go to this playgroup. On Thursdays, she would go to daycare. On Wednesdays, she was with me. Home and at our playground, and she'd get really excited about this, and I would really get excited about interacting with other adults, because for a long time I was pretty much just, it was just, everything was about the kids. I lost the sense of myself, and this group is so important to me, and I love seeing Zoe play with other kids as well. If you watch the vlogs, you would remember it as a community garden that we used to go and plant vegetables at and take care of them every week. And Nikki knew about this because Zoe was always excited to go when she would drop her off, and I would always be like, we got dad group today, it's gonna be fun. And Nikki went to the daycare place, and she changed Zoe's day. She changed Zoe's daycare day to Wednesday from Thursday, so that I could no longer go to this group. Zoe was with me on every Wednesday, and I remember calling the daycare, and they knew that I had equal parenting rights, and they gave me a hard time about changing the days back. Eventually, I was able to, but I tried explaining to Nikki. I was like, look, I don't have friends. You made it very hard for me. You gave me severe social anxiety to the point where I don't interact with many people because I didn't want to have to try and defend my people, myself to people. I didn't have the energy for it. So I just stopped interacting with most people. I had, one friend down here, and I was desperately trying to.
Nikki made you not to be able to interact with people. How is that true? Wow.
To make some friends, to learn how to really interact with people again. I've been in therapy for a long time. I started therapy a year before I left Nikki. My therapist was really pushing me to, you need to start trying to interact with people more regularly again. And I tried explaining to her. She didn't care. It was just the control thing. It's like I felt like she wanted to isolate me from people over the years. And she's been trying to destroy my career. There's just been a lot of control. I could talk for hours and hours and hours about it. I don't even know what things to talk about. Even just recently, not that long ago, the kids and I, we were gifted an all expenses paid trip to Disneyland. Flights, accommodation, special experiences for us at Disneyland, like once in a lifetime opportunity. And it just so happened to land on a week. It was my week with the girls. And I gave her 27 days notice, and she was upset about the fact that I would get to take them to Disneyland for her. Now it's every parent's dream to do that. It wasn't like it was something that I planned. I'd been gifted it. She was also furious that I hadn't invited her, which we don't talk. We talk about things that are really important about the kids, and that's kind of it. So obviously, I wasn't going to bring a person who abuses me on a trip like that. That made no sense. And then eventually, she used the excuse of don't want them missing a few days of school. And I was so heartbroken for the kids that I said, "You can have the trip. Take the trip. I don't want the kids to miss out." The whole deal was apparently that she was upset that I was going to get to take them first, so I gave it to her. She didn't want it. She just didn't want me to have it. There's been so many other. I was talking about stuff recently. It was my 40th birthday this year. And she's always giving me a hard time about turning 40 or something. She's always, made me feel self-conscious about I'm old. And, she'd given me a hard time about that. And I had a hiccup not even long before that. And I knew something was going to happen on my 40th where she would try and make it hard. And so I reminded her that, it was coming up. And she would have known because the girls would have been talking about it because they were excited they'd made some stuff for me. But I reminded her just to keep my bases covered because it landed on a week that was her week with the kids. And, our agreement is if it's our birthday, one of our birthday, and the kids are at the other house, we pick them up from, 3:30 and we have them until 6. And I reminded her, she got back to me the day before my birthday. I'd had a message from a dentist that I'd been to before, about 20 minutes before I got a message from her saying that a dental appointment had been made for me. And I thought that was strange, and I called them up and told them there was a mistake, that I didn't book a dentist appointment for my birthday. And they said, "Oh, we're sorry, something must have happened. There's a girl with the same last name as yours who has a dental appointment that day." And I thought nothing of it. And then 20 minutes after that, I got a text from Nikki letting me know that both the girls have dentist appointments on my birthday, and that I can take them there on my birthday. I didn't even let her know that I knew she had literally just looked up before sending that message, because the notification that came through, and I don't think she would have thought that I would have got that notification, because it's just like, what's the point in even bringing this stuff up, because this is kind of how it is. This is the sort of stuff I deal with. I've dealt with violence as well. That was another hard rumor that I had to deal with years ago. It still goes around the internet. There's still people who think this of me, that I was violent. When Nikki and I broke up, I was receiving a lot of threats. She was threatening to tell lies about me on the internet. She was doing such a great job of it with people in our life that I took that quite seriously, especially with all the stuff she was liking. She would come to me and tell me what gossip people were saying about me and, rub it in my face. So,
Exactly the case with Justin Dean. He never did anything wrong. It was KORRA who did everything wrong. Jamie is actually accusing Nikki for everything, even the bad things people say on social media about him, that Nikki is responsible for all of these things. These two men seem to be brothers from the same womb. They behave exactly the same. Let's keep listening.
I took her threat seriously, and also she had come to the house and been violent, punched me multiple times, kicked me, just being horrible. And this was in front of kids, in front of my mum, and things like this had happened throughout our marriage as well. Nikki, she was like two different people, and that was what I always struggled with, because there was a version of her that I was just head over heels in love with, and there was a version of her that I felt like I didn't know, and I never knew when that version was going to come out. And when that version came out, stick around for like a week or so, sometimes longer, sometimes less, and that version had very violent temper, with anger problems. And there was a number of times, and I won't talk about all of them, I'll just talk about things that I have documented that I can 100% prove. There was a number of times where she had, hit me multiple times in front of the kids, where she would throw objects at me, objects that would hurt. She would hit me with heavy objects. I've had lump on the back of my head from being hit with a heavy object, and that was in front of my brother. My brother saw that.
Wow.
Very few people knew about this. I didn't want people to know about this stuff that I was going through. My parents knew about it because they had seen it on different occasions. My brother knew about it because he had seen it once, and her sister Paula knew about it because I would go to her asking for help. Nikki had been through a lot growing up. And I don't know if that's a result of it, but that was an excuse that I always give. But there were points in our marriage where I was very scared.
So if I'm understanding Jamie here very well, he is trying to make us understand that Nikki had anger issues, and Nikki would be violent with him. She would throw punches here and there and try to hurt him. And his mom saw that. His older brother saw that as well. My goodness. Let's keep listening to Jamie. I can sure see Justin Dean in this man.
I was walking on eggshells, and I wasn't scared of her like I thought she could kill me, like what women experience when they experience domestic violence. But it was a feeling of humiliation. I felt so small because I never hit her back. And I thought so low of men who hit women. And I'll be honest, there was one day where I thought I wanted to hit her back, which was one of the scariest feelings I've ever felt, because I never knew that part of me existed. It was a day where she tried to throw a camera in my face. And because she'd thrown heavy things at me before, I knew that it was real. And in self-defense, like, I wanted to hit her, and I felt my fist clench. And I just left the house. I was gone for a few days. She ended up saying she would go to marriage counseling after that, and thank God I never felt like that again. But I feel like almost just a scary feeling was when times like that happened again, I just kind of, I didn't feel the emotion. I felt small. I felt powerless. I felt humiliated. I felt like I wasn't a real man. And so when she was coming to the house being violent and making serious threats, and there was other threats made, got to the point where I had to install security cameras all around my house. And the house that I used to live in had panic buttons. It was in a bougie area, and there was a security guard office down the road. But I didn't feel safe, and I went to seek a protection order against her. And that was one of the hardest things I ever did, because I felt like I was betraying her, because I constantly just made excuses for why she had the issues that she had, why she would just have this uncontrollable anger. And I felt like she couldn't help her. I felt like there was two Nikkis, and I felt like I was punishing the Nikki that I still cared about because of what the other Nikki did, which just sounds crazy when I say it like that, but that's kind of how I rationalized it. But I knew that I needed to protect myself. So I went to court to seek a protection order. And I was still protecting her at the time. I requested that the doors be closed. When I spoke to the judge, I requested that my name not be on the court, the court ledger. Because I was worried, what if somebody who knows who I am is in there and this all gets out? And someone did recognize me in that courtroom, and they saw me holding a family violence papers somehow. They went on the internet and they said that I was there holding family violence papers. People came up with the assumption that I must have been there defending myself because she wasn't in the courtroom. But it was the other way around. And I got forced to the point where I had to talk about it, and I still didn't want to throw her under the bus. And I worded it, and I said I've never been in court to defend myself, which was the truth, because I wasn't the defendant. But I know I was dishonest. I didn't want to throw her under the bus, but I also didn't want people thinking something of me that wasn't true. So I said that I was never there to defend myself, and my lawyer at the time was telling me to sue this girl, but realistically I don't think she had anything to sue her for, and the amount of money that goes into defamation cases, it wasn't worth my time, so I let.
Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for joining my live. If you're joining in for the first time, do well to like the video and subscribe so you get notifications when next I'm live. I need you to pump in some hearts. I need you to like the video. Now you have been listening to Jamie Perkins for some time. Now I am trying to bring out some similarities between the two. It seems like Jamie and Justin are the same kind of people. All right. This is Jamie now talking about court summons cases here and there, and he was being sued for he's suing his ex-wife for defamation and things like that. Isn't that the same thing KORRA is? Since she divorced her husband, say 2 years back, she has been in and out of court from one summon to another. She will cry foul on social media, but that will still not end these cases. Justin Dean kept bringing more cases against her, kept accusing her of so many things. Now, what are we going to do with men like this? Guys, keep listening to Jamie.
The amount of money that goes into defamation cases, it wasn't worth my time, so I left it. But that's one of the rumors that I've worn over the years. I've worn the cheating rumors, I've worn the abuse rumor. And when the cheating rumors really, really got worse and worse, and I really got to the point where I felt like, you know what, I need to stand up for myself. I was fighting to be in my kids' lives. And going back and forth with her on the internet would not have helped that. So I had to choose, do I care about my kids? Or do I care about my ego, my career, and my reputation? I'm going to choose my kids any day of the week. So I was going to come out and say anything that could have affected my ability.
Now that's the exact reason why I did this video. It reached the point where he could no longer fight again, but he decided that the most important thing for him were his kids, and he needed to stay sane to be able to take care of his kids. That's Jamie Perkins. This week, it's the same case with Justin Dean. He came out to cry on social media because he has now deleted that video that the court cases were taking toll of him, and he's no longer himself. He's so drained out of it. Why would you even want to use the case to punish your ex-wife, the woman who bear the children for you? Don't you know that if that woman is not sound in mind, your children too will not be okay? Now it had to reach the level where he felt drained for him to let go of the court cases. Look at it, guys. Let's keep listening to Jamie.
Ability to be able to be a 50-50 dad, which is all I've ever wanted. I've always thought it was important, regardless of what my relationship with their mum is like. I've always thought it was important for them to have a mum, because they love their mum, and I know that she loves them. And to this day, I would love to be able to co-parent with her. I've offered time and time again to pay for us to have family counselling sessions where we talk to someone who specializes in co-parenting. And the way things have been with her just seeking so much control over my life for so long, and the abuse that I've experienced, the control, it needs to change. I don't know how to change it. And I've tried everything I feel that I can try. I've sought help through the legal system. I've sought help through counseling. I've sought help through God and the church. The girls are thriving in the school that they're in now. But it is private. I need to be able to keep these payments up. But I'm stressed because I know I can't continue living this way. And I just want to be able to give them the best I possibly can. So this is where I'm at. This is what I've been going through for so long. This is why I haven't seemed like myself, because I've been in survival mode for years. My self-esteem has just completely crumbled. I've lost sense of who I am outside being a father. And I'm just trying to figure out how I can move past all these obstacles that are just constantly being thrown at me.
What do you expect when you begin to concentrate on all your energy on fighting your ex? He's been drained. He's lost himself. It's the same case with Justin Dean. He just said so. Wow. Let's listen to Jamie some more.
And from now on, I'm going to start posting more honest content about what I'm going through. You know, the stuff that I have been posting with the kids and family stuff, that's real. That's us. That's the real us. But there's another side of my life, which has been the harder side, that I've been keeping private, because I've never felt like it's an honorable thing to air your family's dirty laundry. But I'm at the point where I have to explain what's going on.
It is not a fun thing to air your family's dirty laundry. Justin Dean did it. Jamie did it. They all did it to the ex-wives. They needed to say the side of the story, so they claimed. But in the other hand, they didn't want to bring dirty linens in public. But eventually they did. So these two people are similar.
Why you're not going to see a lot of family content anymore. And I know a lot of people, it's not what they signed up for. And I understand that, but this is where I'm at. So from now on, you're going to see, probably like some Uber content, or I'm just going to make whatever I can, because I need to figure out how to make a little bit of extra money so that I can keep going. This is where my life's at right now. And if there's anybody out there who can help us, please reach out, because our family desperately needs help.
Wow.
I'm not telling my story out of bitterness. I'm telling it because I don't know what else to do.
He needs help.
I don't know what else to do. This is the only thing I haven't tried.
Justin cried out for help. Jamie too is crying out for help. The women do all the work. The women bring in all the income. And when you divorce them, you didn't know that the courts will not award their pages to you, their channels to you. And now you're crying. You're telling the world, you need help. Really?
Sharing what I've been going through. I know people have seen it in my eyes for a long time. I've been going through it, but I've never told you guys why it's so hard for me. You know, I've talked about how I want to be able to go back to working a regular job. I want to get back into film, but I can't, because if I can't do these school runs, I'm not going to be in the girls' lives that much. I risk losing. And I don't have a relationship with their mum where she's going to encourage that relationship. Important things a lot of the time I'm just left out about. I mean, I remember Ava was in hospital with a suspected concussion. I didn't hear about it until the next week when she came back to my house. This is the sort of thing that goes on, and I try and keep her in the loop about everything that's important with the kids. Over the years when she's been nice to me, I'm always giving her the same energy back. But when she's being abusive, I curl into my shell because I don't know how to handle the level of conflict that's thrown. So yeah, this is where I'm at. This is why I haven't been posting videos in a long time.
Wow.
This is what I've been going through over the years. This is why I've never spoken up about why we broke up. I never wanted to. I never wanted to tell the story. But this is it. This is where we're at. Out of the house, Nikki. Please leave. Please leave. Please leave the house, Nikki. Please leave the house.
That's an excerpt of him recording Nikki when Nikki was really angry and misbehaving. Justin Dean did that a lot to KORRA Obidi. So let's listen. Just listen.
Please leave the house. Please leave the house. This is violence. You've got the kids in your hands. Leave the house right now.
This is exactly what you wanted.
Leave the house right now.
This is exactly
Leave the house.
I'm not going to
Leave the house.
This has been planning this.
Leave the house. Leave the house.
So day one.
Leave the house. Leave the house. The children don't deserve to see this.
I think you need to get responsibility. Okay, yeah. All right.
Leave the
You
house.
guys will never see my kids again. That is, you guys will never see my kids again. Ever.
That will not happen. Leave the house.
Look at you guys.
Leave the house.
Look at you guys.
Leave the house.
Look.
Leave the house. Leave the house, Nikki. Leave the
This is
house.
exactly what you wanted, Jamie.
Leave the
This is
house.
exactly what you wanted. You're actually
Leave the house.
exactly what you wanted.
And this is what I've been putting up with for years. Violence. All of this. And the kids have to see it. That's the sad thing. And never taking responsibility for any of her actions. Caught out trying to cheat on me, and then she acts like this. Instead of saying sorry, instead of trying to make it right. I'm sorry, Mom. You're okay?
No, I'm not okay.
Where's your phone? I'm actually calling the police. Yesterday, Nikki sent me a nasty message saying,
Well, guys, the video is almost ending. You have listened. If you're joining in just now, you're welcome. Thank you so much for joining my live. The video has been a very long one. I encourage you who is joining just now to go listen to the video from the very beginning so you get an understanding of what we have been doing here. I was comparing the life, or I was comparing the journeys of two interracial couple. That's Justin Dean and KORRA Obidi, and Jamie Perkins, and with his ex-wife Nikki Todd. So I want to believe that, say, 85 to 90% character-wise, and what actually led to the end of their relationship, and how they have been coping as individuals since after their breakups was the same. There's a lot of similarities among the couple. Yes, the women are black, the men are white. The men claim to leave their work for the women's sake, to support them, to create family. The men claim the women actually wanted children. They were not so much into children because they were still trying to see if the relationships will work. But the women were all about children and wanting to have children. So both families have two girls that they have been raising. Eventually, when the relationship broke, the only difference here is that Justin Dean wanted 100% custody of his girls. Meanwhile, Jamie Perkins just wanted 50%. And now another difference is Jamie Perkins is vocal about the fact that he's not coping because his wife was doing everything for them. But Justin Dean will just not agree. He still claims to be doing so well. Meanwhile, he is not. And things are not the same just because his source has been taken. On several occasions, Justin has tried to take away KORRA's legal rights to her platforms, but it just did not work out. He even contested her in court based on that, but she won, and her pages remained her properties and all of that. And the men now tried to claim that the successes of the women's vlogging channels, they were the brains behind it. They would help, they would edit, they would film, they would this, they would that, and they had to leave their own respective jobs because they had to invest in the women's. That's just because the women's platform were doing well. These two women, KORRA Obidi and Nikki Todd, they are influencers, they are popular, they have millions of followers and millions of views on their different platforms. They were doing well. Before and after marriage, even with the children, they still are doing much more better than the men. So the men could not take that, and they begin to clap back after years of separation. So I want to believe that the case of KORRA Obidi and Justin Dean is exactly the same with the case of Jamie Perkins and Nikki Todd. Now, what is amazing on the news, I am going to do a separate video on that, is Nikki Todd has finally moved on, and social media family, we are very happy about that because it is not easy for a woman to have a divorce and then still find love. It is true that she's been making her life a little bit private ever since. That is so good. Not everything is supposed to be on social media though, but I believe she learned a lot from her ex-husband. She learned a lot from her former relationship, and you two are going to learn a lot from them. KORRA Obidi, personally, I want to say she's a very strong woman with a strong willpower that has shown the world that she has a thick skin. No matter what her ex-husband did to her after separation, she did not break. She has kept on creating content and has been current until finally she has won in so many ways. Women, you have a lot to learn from these situations. Men, you have a lot to learn from these situations. As usual, if you have any comments, drop them at the comment section, and I would say thank you so much for all of you who subscribe. Thank you so much for my most recent subscription. Thank you so much. Thank you for those of you who watch the videos. Thank you to those of you who commented and liked the video. As always, I'll tell you, see you on my next live. Bye YouTube. Bye Facebook.